Dear Aron Ra, Matt Dillahunty, this is proof that Jesus is the real God, that Christianity is the only truth. Listen to the story. You will not find any stories remotely similar to this story that happened in Christianity. You've not heard any stories such like this in the Hindu religion, Islam, Mormonism, Zayn, whatever. Not even voodoo. Now try to debunk this, bitch.
And on. I was holding a revival meeting. Preached this sermon. When I gave the invitation, over 90% of all the people in the audience, the Christians, the backsliders, the sinners, over 90% of the people got up out of their seats. They just like you dismissed them. But there was a man and a woman and a little girl on the fourth pew right here in this section. They didn't move. And I felt impressed, speak to them. So I pushed my way through this crowd, stepped on the bench, stepped on the next one, over the next one, and I stopped right in front of the man and I said, "Sir, are you saved?" He said, "Yes, I am, preacher." Then I said, "Ma'am, are you saved?" She said, "Yes, I am." Then I turned to the little girl and I said, "Honey, are you saved?" She said, "No, sir." I said, "How old are you?" She said, "I'm 14. I said, "What is your name?" She said, "My name is Katie." I said, "Katie, you're just a young lady, just 14 years old. Do you ever think about giving your heart to Jesus?" Oh, she said, "Maybe sometime." I said, "Katie, if somehow or another you could know that you'd be dead before midnight, would you let me pray for you?" She folded her little arms across her chest like that and said, "No, sir." Her dad started crying. He said, "Katie, would you let me pray for you?" "No, Daddy, I don't want you to pray for me." Then the mother started crying and said, "Katie, would you let me pray for you?" "No, Mama, I don't want you to pray for me." On their way home that night, they lived 3 miles out of this little town where I was holding a meeting on the left side of the highway. And the father said, I had my signal going, I was turning left, and my hand out, but 4 drunken men were coming up that highway, the police said, in excess of 90 miles an hour. The father said, I saw the lights, but he didn't realize they were coming so fast. And before he could turn left and get in his driveway, they struck him. That car rolled over 3 or 4 times. The father was knocked out of the car. The father was knocked out of the car, just bruised up a little bit, but not seriously injured. Well, little Katie was wedged. They struck that car right in the back, and little Katie was wedged in that car. And when it stopped rolling, it was upside down. And the man that told me about it, he said, "Preacher, I was the second car to arrive on that busy highway." And he said, "I want to tell you, because this little girl kept calling your name, I want to tell you what happened." He said, "I guess maybe in 5 minutes there must have been 25 cars and maybe 50 people around." And he said the gasoline was gushing out of that tank and running down that highway. And he said this car went on, it hit him, went on about 100 yards and wrecked. And he said another gentleman out in that back seat trying to get that little girl's legs freed. She was hanging upside down in that car. He said we'd been working with it about 5 minutes when I saw this flash. And I knew that somebody had set that gasoline on fire. One of those drunken men, he got out of the car, lit a cigarette, and threw the match down. It fell in that gasoline. He said, I turned to my friend that was on the other side, and I said, we've got about 5 or 10 seconds to get this little girl out of this car. He said, "Preacher, I have never put forth such an effort." But he said, I looked, and I knew I had to abandon her. And I got out of that car. And he said, what I heard the next 30 seconds, I'll never forget. He said, that little girl began to scream, "Daddy! Mother! Somebody get me out of this car, Daddy! Mother, I'm going to die. I'm going to go to hell, Mama. I wish I'd have let Preacher Smith pray for me." He said, "Preacher, we had to hold that father and that mother." Said, I actually believed that it ran right into that fire. But he said that mother got as close as she could get to that car and said, "Katie, can you hear me?" "Yes, Mama." "Katie, you are going to die. We can't get you out, honey. You are going to die. Call on the Lord and ask Him to save you, honey. Ask Him to..." "Mama, Mama, I can't pray, Mama. I can't pray." I sat here a moment ago, and I wondered if there's some young person in this house You got your name on some church roll. But you know way down deep in